Welcome to the Entrepreneur Podcast, where we take a look inside the lives of the accomplished and successful businessmen and women. We'll get up close and personal with the founders of booming startups. So lean in and prepare to carry away something to skyrocket your own business. Please subscribe to our show and do leave us a review. It means a lot to us. Now, here's your host, Rajiv.
Hey listeners, welcome to the Entrepreneur Talk Show. I'm your host Rajiv Unikrishnan, and this is the show where we talk about entrepreneurship and speak to great founders, entrepreneurs, and investors. Today we have with us Amit Munjal, the founder and CEO of Doctor Insta. Welcome, Amit.
Thank you, Rajiv. I appreciate you having me on the show.
Excellent. So just a brief intro. Doctor Insta is a made in India telemedicine app providing best-in-class medical help instantly, anytime, anywhere at one's own comfort and ease. A bit about Amit. He's an MBA from Indiana and has an advanced management certification from the Harvard Business School. Currently lives in Gurgaon and also spends time in LA. He has served as a mentor and business coach to various .coms as well as to Capital Innovators, a startup accelerator program in the US. And he's a charter member of TIE Delhi and the LA chapter of CFA Institute. Again, Amit, welcome to the show. Do fill in the gaps, if any, in the intro.
No, I think you did a great job of introducing me, Rajiv. I think we can hit the ground running from here onwards.
Excellent. So before I start, of course, anything about businesses, what are your passions outside of business, Amit?
Rajiv, my passions outside of business are traveling. I like to travel to new countries, new places, explore cultures, explore different museums, read about world history and different businesses and what they are doing right and what they are doing wrong. I also like to try out new restaurants and then work out. So those four things would be my passions outside work.
Excellent. And how much time do you spend equally between Delhi and LA?
I am maintaining my house in Los Angeles, so I end up spending a couple of months in LA every year. And since Doctor Insta is developing country focused, our ground zero is Gurgaon, India. So I end up spending most of my yearly time here in Gurgaon.
Okay.
With the exception of those couple of months when I'm in LA.
Got it. So, of course, coming now to Doctor Insta, so what inspired the idea for Doctor Insta, Amit?
So it's an interesting story, Rajiv. In 2012, I was on a vacation on a remote island of Hawaii called Kauai.
Okay.
And I ended up having a medical situation where I sprained my right ankle. And it's a remote island, so finding a doctor right away became a challenge. And a friend of mine suggested a similar app for me to do a consultation. Initially, I was skeptical, but I had no other option. And beggars can't be choosers. So I ended up doing the consultation online.
Okay.
And through that video consultation, doctor made me move my foot in different directions, asked me about the magnitude of pain on a scale of 1 to 10. And post his viewing the situation, he came to a prognosis that it is definitely not a fracture, seems like a sprain. Suggested me ibuprofen 800, which is known as Brufen in India, and a pain alleviating spray. And I followed that treatment plan to the T. And in 3 hours, I was back on my feet, continuing with my vacation. So that seeded the idea. And I always wanted to do something in India. And when I was migrating to India, that idea stayed in the back of my mind. So I, although evaluated 30 odd ideas to work on, this seemed to stand out because there was nothing else in this space. And then this is the idea where you are hitting the triple bottom line. That's a dream for any ethical entrepreneur to accomplish. By
Correct.
Triple bottom line, I mean, there is nothing better than the gift of good health that you can give to yourself as well as to your near and dear ones. And virtual healthcare is, at the end of the day, propagating good health.
Absolutely.
Providing you instant, anytime, anywhere solution to your medical problems. The second component of the bottom line was good for environment. People don't have to burn fuel, waste time going from point A to point B to get consultations. And then third is if you take care of the planet and people, then automatically shareholders' interests are well taken care of. So
Correct.
because the convergence of these three and the fact that it was a white space in India, which was yet to be addressed, I took up this challenge and started walking the journey.
Excellent. And what would the vision be for the company?
So, Rajiv, the vision is very clear. We want to democratize and strengthen the healthcare system in developing countries. In developing countries like India, uh, there are a couple of major challenges. Challenge number one is one of the worst doctor to patient ratios in the country. And then looking at the country, you have two diverse challenges. One, in cities, the problem is of availability of time amongst the patients.
Yep.
So if you are a patient, you lead a very busy lifestyle most of the time. Most of the couples are working now. They also have dependents in the form of very young children, and then dependents in the form of very old parents that they also need to worry about. So time becomes a major constraint, and to find shortcuts, many a times all of us are guilty of going to a pharmacy store and asking the guy there, "Bhaiya kya lu?" And we know that deep down there, this bhaiya that we are addressing doesn't even have proper education or qualifications, and is the farthest thing from being a pharmacist. But yet, we all sign up to become the guinea pig of the bhaiya.
That's true.
So we want to, get rid of that self-medication phenomenon that is happening in India. Although India has laws around not dispensing medicines without prescription, but the ground reality is diagonally opposite to that. You can walk into a pharmacy store and get whatever you want without any prescription, unfortunately. But as people are becoming more and more aware, and we understand that time is a scarce commodity for them, we offer them virtual healthcare solution where they don't have to worry about, oh, it would take me 3 hours of time to get ready, deal with the chaotic traffic, poor parking infrastructure, and then waiting in the waiting room of the doctor. No, you can cut all of this to the chase and get those 10-minute consultations or more with the doctors of your choice in the specialty that you are having a problem in.
Okay. Got it.
Now, in the villages, the problem is the exact opposite. People have plenty of time. You see them playing cards under a banyan tree, smoking hookah and tobacco all day long.
Yeah, yeah.
The challenge in the villages is the supply of good quality doctors. So with virtual healthcare, we are supplying them good quality doctors at the tap of their fingers or the click of the mouse. And we understand many of these villagers are not digitally savvy. So what we are doing there is we are doing assisted e-commerce in these villages, where a village level entrepreneur would be the evangelist of the product,
Okay.
promoting it amongst people who have no clue about online consultations, do not have a plastic currency or a mobile wallet to make payments through, do not even have an email address to receive prescription on. Yet we can offer them virtual consults through Doctor Insta assisted e-commerce program. The other challenge that we are trying to resolve in most developing countries like India is there is a huge social stigma
Okay.
around practice areas of sexology and psychology. And research shows us that psychology issues impact almost everyone. There is nobody who has not dealt with or is not going to deal with psychology issues like anxiety, stress, depression, relationship issues, grief. So they are part of a life cycle, they're part of a journey of human beings. Yet there is a huge social stigma amongst people of developing countries, including India and especially India, where people are not that easy with the thought of going to a psychologist.
That's true.
Same goes for a sexologist. People look for the farthest possible sexologist or a neem hakim to seek consultation from. Now, they feel that if they go to a good sexologist, in their neighborhood or close by, and if they're seen by someone from their extended circle of family and friends, then their reputation would get tarnished.
That's true.
So to break that thought process, and by democratizing healthcare now through Doctor Insta, all these people can have consultations with the top psychologists or with the leading sexologists as and when they want.
Oh, that's
So
great.
these are some of the major pain points that we are trying to resolve in India and the other
Okay.
developing countries.
So, I mean, when you thought of the idea, was it only you to take this idea off the ground, or do you have any co-founders?
I have a core team of people, one from healthcare community, one from operations,
Uh-huh.
one from business development. All of us came together, converged our thoughts and energies, and started marching in this direction.
Okay, great. So now I'm looking at the platform. It caters to, of course, three types of people. One is the patients, one is the businesses, and one is the practitioners, right? If you were
Correct.
to look at these three silos, I mean, how would you describe how you cater to these three different types of sectors?
Sure. There's a lot of commonality and overlap between these three. Doctors do the supply side of the equation, they are the caregivers. Patients could be of two kinds. One we call retail or under B2C program, where anyone can download the app or go to the web and do the consultation on either pay as you go basis or by buying an annual subscription program of Dr. Insta, whereby for a small fee, both them as well as their dependents are covered for the whole year. And then the second program is B2B2C, which is business.
Yep.
So there, the value proposition is that large, medium, and small companies of the country can offer a virtual healthcare solution to their employees. Companies pay on per employee per month basis, and all these employees as well as their dependents get these free virtual healthcare consults
Mm-hmm.
as when they want. Now, what's in it for businesses is that it increases the productivity of the employees and in turn the businesses. Because guess what? If Rajiv is sick or Rajiv's aging mother or young child are sick
Mm-hmm.
and Rajiv has to take hours off or a day off and tell
Yep.
his boss that, boss, I'm taking this time off, then who else loses along with Rajiv? It
Correct.
is the employer. So now, if an employer offers a complementary solution to an employee, what employer would realize is happier, healthier employees,
Absolutely.
less medical absenteeism, and then there is something called passive absenteeism. Passive absenteeism is an employee is there staring at the screen or looking at the file but not doing anything. So physically the employee is there, but mentally the employee is checked out. And it happens because of all kinds of mental, physical health issues that the employee might be grappling with. So Dr. Insta helps the employer increasing productivity and reducing both medical absenteeism as well as passive absenteeism.
Correct.
And at the end of the day, employer also gets a lot of data analytics, not at employee level, but at the top of the house level. That what is the overall health of my employees? What are the top 10 medical issues impacting my employees? How is it impacting across demographics, male, female,
Mm-hmm.
and across age groups? So although they can't see patient level data, but they can look at all this data at the top of the house and slice and dice it accordingly so that all their well-being budgets could be well aligned with what they are seeing in terms of ground realities of employee health.
Okay. Got it. And so these doctors that are there on your platform, I mean, they just register to provide the service, or do you all like some sort of screening to get them on the platform?
Very rigorous, very strenuous screening process
Okay.
because we feel that the key here is quality assurance and quality control.
Correct.
So all these doctors have to have a MD degree. All these doctors have to have 5 years of post MD experience in some of the marquee hospitals of the country before they are even given the interview opportunity. Then they have to clear the interview, go through the robust selection screening process, where they are evaluated not just on the functional skills but also the technical skills. And then they are provided training for the platform as to how the platform works, what are the
Uh-huh.
best practices for virtual healthcare, and then they are made live on the platform.
Okay. And you all, in terms of revenue model, you'll obviously charge the patient and then the doctor gets his fee anyway, correct?
We have a hybrid model, Rajiv. Whereby some doctors are working with us on rev share basis,
Okay.
and other doctors are working with us on salary basis.
Oh, okay. Got it. So that's great. Okay. And I guess all the doctors currently that you have, the platform is more focused towards India currently.
Yeah, correct. So for India, we are managing everything from alpha to omega and from soup to nuts. Whereas for other countries, we are offering PaaS model, platform as a service model.
Mm-hmm.
We are telling that to our business partners there that you can use our platform. We'll be happy to give you the platform, which includes the doctors panel, doctors apps, patients apps, admin panel, business panel for businesses, and they can offer us a annual royalty payment for using the platform. They need to run the show in those respective countries by having customer service, by having doctor onboarding team, by employing doctors, by having business development folks, and every all our role would be limited to is providing them the platform, making sure platform stays up to date. As we add more bells and whistles to our platform, they would have access to those additional features as well while we do this journey in India ourselves.
Okay, that's good. Great. And what is the tie-up with NDTV? Do you all have some channel on NDTV or how does it work?
No, no, we don't have any tie-up with NDTV.
Uh-huh.
What made you ask that?
No, no. So I was just okay. So you have a video that's there, which says on your site to see us on NDTV. So that's a probably a news article
Ah,
that you'll
okay.
have.
NDTV covered us a few times.
Okay.
A couple of times was without our knowing, and then they showed they showed to the world that how these concerts are working in an arm's length manner. So one of their reporters did these consults without our knowing even,
Okay.
and then they reached out to us as well and gave us a pat on the back for creating such a beautiful platform where people don't have to worry about wasting their time, worry about social stigmas, and then good quality healthcare is accessible to people as and when they want.
Okay. From the stats,
So
you
that link
go ahead.
basically
Yeah.
gives you the shows you the clipping of that NDTV coverage.
Got it. Okay, my mistake. So, from the
No
stats
way.
you sent me, you all have achieved more than 4 lakh consultancies in the year, which is a really big number, which is great. And you are looking
Yes,
to moving towards a million consultancies per day over the next 2 years, correct?
correct.
Okay, that's a huge number. I'm looking at the competition, and there's quite a fair bit of people doing this around the world in India also in terms of providing the consultancy piece. In fact, I think I interviewed someone some time back who does this also. So in terms of when you're looking at differentiating yourself, what is the key differentiator you feel? Competition is always good, and there's a lot of
Yeah.
space in the market, especially in India. But what makes you one above the rest? Finally, it's a business, right?
See, Doctor Insta is a category creator of virtual healthcare in India.
Yeah,
There is no company which is ahead of us in India offering virtual consults.
got it.
Now, our unique selling proposition is first of all, we have a dual focus both on businesses as well as retail customers. We also are platform agnostic. So you can use Dr. Insta through any of the web browsers, whether it is Safari or Chrome or IE.
Hmm.
We are compatible with all of them. We are also available through phone for people who are blue collar workers, have limited understanding of apps, world, and whatnot. And then we are also available on Android and iOS for the digital savvy population. So our distribution strategy is is covering all the different channels for distribution.
Oh, excellent.
Now,
Okay.
when it comes to thanks a lot, Rajiv. When it comes to product, we are only concerned with specialty areas where resolution rate through virtual healthcare is very, very high.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why you find specialties. We're not offering cardiothoracic surgery consultations or orthopedic consultations. Why? Because in anything invasive, virtual healthcare has very limited role.
Correct.
Okay, that's like laser sharp focus on what we are doing. The third thing is the quality of the doctors that are having. We are a closed and curated place. We are not an open marketplace that any doctor can come register themselves on Doctor Insta. No, we don't believe in that because the logic is very simple. All these doctors have to go through the vetting and the selection process before they are onboarded. Not just that, we also have standardized cost plan because we feel that if somebody is sick, they should not worry about, oh, this doctor is charging too less, so maybe it is the doctor is not that great, or this other doctor is charging way too much, maybe they are trying to rip me off. No, we don't believe in that. We offer good quality consultations through our chosen pool of doctors at a flat rate so that people don't have to worry about too little pricing or too much pricing
Got it. Yeah.
in this case.
Got it.
So these are some of our differentiating factors for our clients, which are large companies, as well as our customers, which are end users of the product.
Okay.
And then the beauty of the platform is that at the end of the consult, patients rate and review the doctors. So because these hundreds of thousands of ratings and reviews that we have, every single day, platform becomes better for patients. Why? Because although we first of all place chosen list of doctors only, but even from them, the best of the best end up staying on the platform, and the ones who are not at par with our high standards get flushed out because we decommission them.
Got it. Got it. So, I mean, you all raised around 1 million last year, if I'm not mistaken. And anything after that, or you're on the roads again to raise some more?
No, no, we raised much more than that, although these numbers we are not at a liberty to
Correct.
disclose, and not because we don't want to, but because our investors want it that way.
Got it. Got it. So that's perfectly okay. And I mean, in terms of so moving on, I mean, what's your team size like currently, Amit?
We have around 85 people.
Okay. Oh, that's great. And all are based in Gurgaon, or you have it cross in LA also?
No, our doctors are available nationwide,
Okay. Got it.
and then the other functions, business development, customer service, admin, tech, are all based out of Gurgaon.
Got it. So moving on to, I mean, your journey in terms of, I mean, you've worked in various gigs already. So when did you know you were meant for entrepreneurship and to make the switch?
I belong to a family of entrepreneurs. So from the time I could think of, I was involved in some business or the other. I was managing or actively involved in my family business even in my teenage years. And then when I moved away to US for my studies, then too I was a member of Johnson Center of Entrepreneurship, actively working with the entrepreneurs in Midwest of US, in and around Chicago areas, helping them in scaling, fixing the holes in their business models, launching businesses and whatnot.
Okay.
And even after that, as a management consultant, I was advising a lot of businesses about growth strategies and profit optimization strategies. Post that too, even in large companies, I was involved in launching, managing, and then scaling different businesses. So throughout the journey, entrepreneurship stayed as a common denominator.
You got it. Okay. And over time, who would you say has inspired you the most?
Over time, I think two people who have inspired me the most are Bill Gates and Warren Buffett. And
Okay.
the reason they have inspired me the most is that one, They all excelled in their respective fields. Bill Gates gave us a fabulous tech company in the form of
Yeah,
Microsoft.
yeah.
And Warren Buffett generated humongous amount of wealth by funding so many entrepreneurs, so many businesses, and then turning them around, growing them, and then keeping them in the platform.
That's true.
But the buck doesn't stop there. What they did next was the one which impressed me a lot. They spent majority of their life in building their businesses, and then they committed to donating 98 plus percent of their fortune toward humanitarian causes
Very true.
to uplift the life of the poor and the downtrodden from all over the world. So, and that requires a lot of chutzpah in my mind,
Yeah.
lot of sense of giving to the community, which helped them build such massive empires. So, and that's why these are the two living beings who have been able to inspire me the most in my life so far.
Great. And I mean, in terms of present, what's something, I mean, is there anything like a release or launch that's getting you and the team really excited?
There are a whole bunch of things.
Uh,
One, we just launched health cards on the Amazon store.
oh, okay.
So you can go to the Amazon store in India and you can purchase the health cards from there, just like you can purchase them on Doctor Insta site. We are also launching health screens for the doctors in small cities and villages of the country.
Okay.
So if I'm Amit Kumar, MBBS doctor only, and I'm not a specialist operating in the smaller city of India like Jhansi, Hansi, or Itarsi, just by deploying Doctor Insta Health Screen now, I can convert my monoclinic into a polyclinic. So by that, what I mean is, let's say I'm in Jhansi, Hansi, Itarsi, a small city of India,
Yeah.
and somebody comes in for dermatological consultation, which is not my subject matter expertise, or psychology or sexology consultation, which are also not my subject matter
Yeah.
expertise. I don't have to turn them away or refer them to a doctor who is 5 hours away in a bigger city. I can say, don't worry, Mr. or Miss Patient, have seated here. I'm going to have my attendant turn on the computer, and now they can do a video consult with the doctors sitting in the best cities of the country. And this way, they don't have to waste their 1 to 2 days of time and a large amount of money in logistics to just have that consultation.
Okay, that's great. And where do you see yourself and your business in the next 2 to 3 years?
In the next, so if you look at India, India has around 1 million allopathic doctors. Let's say if each of them is doing around 50 consults a day, you're talking about 50 million or 5 crore consults happening every single day.
Yeah.
What we intend to do is take 1% of this pie and move it online on Doctor Insta format. So, which means 1 million consults a day.
Okay.
Now, if you look at the Chinese market, that number is already happening there through Junio and Pingm apps. More than 1 million consults are happening every single day through virtual platforms. If you look at US market, a large number is happening on US market as well through these platforms like Teledoc, MD Live, and
Yeah.
Doctor on Demand. In India, it's all a matter of time before it catches steam and becomes mainstream. Because if you ask someone in India right now on the road that, buddy, have you done a virtual healthcare consult? More likely than not, their answer will be, what is that?
That's
But
true.
if you ask them a question that, hey, have you ever picked up the phone and spoken with some doctor in your friends or family circle, or sent a WhatsApp or a SMS to your friends and family of doctor, more likely than not, their answer will be, yes, I have. So, in a rudimentary, disorganized manner, people have done virtual healthcare consultation. All we are doing is organizing and democratizing the platform.
That's right. That's right. So I'm just moving to a part of the show which is like a quick fire round, Amit. I mean, simple, brief answers. All right. So
Good.
when people ask you what do you do, how do you answer that?
I answer it by saying that I'm democratizing the healthcare system of the developing countries of the world.
Okay. What's the first word that comes to your mind when I say work?
Life,
Family,
values,
entrepreneurship,
fun,
technology,
awesome,
food,
love it.
and any book?
I'm reading this book about subconscious mind.
Oh,
It's an amazing book. I'm like probably 10% into it, and I'm loving it so far.
excellent. What's one piece of tech that you can't live without?
One piece of tech that, I'm sorry, your voice broke up.
What's one piece of technology that you cannot live without?
My phone,
Okay. And what do you
just like most of us.
okay. And what do you excel at that people might not realize?
Building bonds and bridges.
Okay. And finally, Amit, any last thought or piece of advice that you want to give our listeners?
I would say take care of your health before it is too late. There is nothing, and I mean nothing better than the virtues of good health. If you're very young, now is the time for you to course correct in case you are not on course. So eat right, exercise, keep clean thoughts.
All right. And please let our listeners know how they can reach you and also Dr. Insta.
They can reach me through email on amit@doctorinsta.com. You guys can also hit me up on LinkedIn. I'm listed as Amit Munjal there.
All right, great. And just for our listeners, there's also a special coupon which is Insta30 to get a 30% discount on e-consults with the leading specialists of India. And again, Amit, thanks for taking the time to talk to us and inspiring our listeners to start their own ventures. And all the very best at scaling Dr. Insta.
Sure. Thanks for having me on this fabulous show of yours.
So do visit doctorinsta.com and visit us at the asianentrepreneur.com to get the show notes and subscribe to our show on all the platforms. And stay tuned for our next show. Thank you.
Thank you for listening, and please subscribe to the show so you don't miss an episode. In the meantime, head over to theasianentrepreneur.com and check out show notes and other information to motivate you in your entrepreneurial endeavors.